Right now, though, it is time for business with Nona Peltier, who joins me live in the studio. Nona, a lot going on today, but let's start with the warehouse. So they have posted a strong first half.
Yeah. So they had some discontinued businesses, so that in fact impacted the net profit. But the underlying profit, which is excluding some of those one-time items like a tax adjustment and so on, saw their net profit rise 16.7%. So that's to $46.2 million, which is pretty hefty. And they're expecting a good return for the full year. But a lot depends on how things transpire through the second half.
Yeah, and what kind of signals are they sending about that?
Lots of uncertainty. However, they did say that their supply chain through China has been was not affected necessarily by the coronavirus because they had anticipated the Chinese New Year, and
they had stockpiles of their own already.
They typically import from China, so they prepare in advance. And so as a result of that, when the Chinese New Year hit, they had already put their stuff on the water. So their shipments came in. And now their operations are running back up in China, and they're not expecting to have any material effect on their bottom line. But notwithstanding that, the virus itself and the effect it might have on movements in the wider public could, in fact, impact this company. However,
in terms of shoppers being able to turn up to the store.
But we heard from Briscoe Group yesterday that their March sales were good. People were in the stores, and that's what we heard from the warehouse as well. So definitely people are out there shopping. And so, but there's a question mark over how they do in the second half. And so anyways, in the end, their share price fell about 1.5%. Today.
So another business of interest, Auckland Airport. Obviously, the aviation industry is getting the spotlight beamed onto it. So updated the market again. What's going on?
This time they said they were going to cancel their dividend payout. That's not really a big surprise. One of their shareholders is Auckland Council. It owns about a quarter of the company, and so they're not going to get a dividend. And not only that, they're going to also look at cutting costs. They're going to stop hiring, and they're looking at other ways that they can save some money because, we heard today that Air New Zealand is going to cut a number of their Trans-Tasman flights. What was 80%,
it, like 80% of Trans-Tasman flights?
Yes, these are astounding numbers. And so... And we're hearing that the Jetstar and others are also going to be looking at kind of doing some cutbacks. So yeah, I think that Auckland Airport is probably taking a prudent approach by cutting what they can and not hiring any more staff at this point.
So what else has been happening on the market? It was a bit of a rocky open, but things
the Wall Street had the worst session since, the global financial crisis. The main indices were down about 12%. So that wasn't a very good lead for New Zealand to come on. And so we dropped about 5% in early trading. But when Australia opened, now just keeping in mind that yesterday they had a near 10% fall, which was the worst since 1987. And so when Australia came back, it came back quite strongly. And as a result of that, the New Zealand market picked up. And what we've been seeing is it follows the Australian market. And when it ended up just down only 0.4%, just 42 points. So it was little change from yesterday.
Any particular reason for the greater confidence in the Aussie markets today? Is it just that people are hunting for a bargain?
It could be, you know what? It's so hard. It's impossible to tell. I was looking at the global markets and, you read these numbers and you think, how could this possibly be? But the global markets, for example, oil prices, the Saudi Arabian oil producers are pumping out even more oil and the prices fell, believe it or not. Okay, so this morning there was a rise of 2.5%. to $30.81 US a barrel. That's the price of oil today. But that sounds like an increase of 2.5%. But then it says, but these gains are unlikely to hold because oil production keeps going up. I mean,
and people aren't travelling. People aren't moving around.
No, and there's no demand for it. It's a topsy-turvy type of world, I would say. And this virus is making people sick, but it's also making them irrational too.
Well, lucky we've got you here to go over the numbers for us.
All right, so do you want the rest?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so I gave you the top 50 index down 0.4% to 9,435, which is where we were about the beginning of last year. ASX, no, I don't have those numbers, but I do have the dollar. Oh, there's a bright note. 60.5 US cents is where we are.
Okay, so we've bounced back a little bit.
Yeah, but here's a good one. We're at 98.8 Australian, but overnight we got to 99. What was it? My numbers? I think 7.
So pretty much
7.
1 for 1, we'll say.
Well, actually, the all-time high was 99.78, and we got to 99.77 overnight. But okay.
What about the British?
Oh yeah, that one. 49.3. Just we're always at the same level there.
Thanks, Nona. Nona Baltier with all the numbers from the day.